Hello and welcome back to my craft room. I've had a bit of a weird thing, a very unusual thing for me going on. I've just not been not feeling like doing any art, but I just haven't been able to get myself started. So sometimes what I'll do when this happens is I'll have a little play, wreck the journal or create this book or something, or I'll just do a bit of doodling and that'll get me going. I think I was a bit wiped out after the party in a lovely way, but it was quite a lot of hard work. I had to spend a couple of days getting the dresses together and wrapping up and getting things sent off and all that, you know, and tying things up. I've done a bit of slow stitching. I have done a bit of that. I haven't done anything else creative since, and that's going on a week. That's quite a few days since I was up here. So I thought, right, come on. And I think part of the problem is that I won the amazing, I still can't believe my luck, I won the 120 colours set of Sennelier oil pastels from the draw that Scola was running. I still can't quite believe it, and I had it in my head that that's the next thing I've got to get onto. I'm dying to get into playing with them, but I've just gone a little bit scared about it. I don't know why. So I've decided what I need to do. I've come up here, toured with all sorts of ideas, and I thought, no, jump into those oil pastels. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start off, I think, by swatching the colours just to get the feel. If you didn't see, it was in August. The Scola box had Sennelier oil pastels in. I'm going to go to my desk. And we got these. You can see I quite enjoyed using them, except for the black. Didn't use the black a lot. So the Sennelier oil pastels, which are lovely, very soft and sticky and lovely. They're just lovely to use, and for me, quicker to work with than a lot of other things because I'm quite a slow worker. And then I loved them so much, I went and bought a few more colours in a local art shop. An extra white, a purple, what was that, Venetian red, I think that was called, and a kind of more of a scarlet-y red. And this one's a clear blending one. So I went and bought myself, and I had been thinking, I'll try and just build up 1 or 2 colours a month because they're $2.45 each, you know, you can't go and buy a whole lot. And I'll gradually build up the colours, you know, and I thought, wouldn't it be incredible to have the original 50 that Picasso chose, because it was Picasso that these were created for originally. Never knowing I'd be lucky enough to win 120. Still pinching myself there. Anyway, so when we got the Scola box, this was the size paper, because it's always going to be small paper, obviously the size of the Scola box, and I found it a bit frustrating trying to work on this size. This is one thing that I did. Then I had another go in this like A4, just like, oh gosh, it's just cartridge paper. I did that, but I still found that I couldn't do the detail that I wanted. I really felt I needed to work big with these. So this was the next one that I did on a bigger piece. So I just thought, I'm going to do a small thing, just concentrate on the eye and do it on the biggest, not quite the biggest paper I've got, the biggest I felt I could manage. And I definitely got on way better. I found the bigger I went, the more I enjoyed these. What I've got now is, I have to pull the camera right up for you to be able to even see it. So this is A2, and I think I'm going to try working A2 with this. So I'm not going to be able to film it all. It's going to be a bit difficult. What I'm going to do is sort of film little bits of it and copy. It'll be fairly long. You won't want to sit through all that anyway, I'm sure. So I'm going to try doing a portrait with this. More about that in a minute. When I say portrait, not a likeness portrait, but just a face. I'm going to use photo references, but I'm not going to get myself bogged down by trying to make it a portrait. I feel very inspired by Black Bean's videos. He does amazing stuff with oil pastels, and he makes these really he wonkifies the faces, makes them really quirky and full of character. And what I love about his work most is that he's very entertaining to watch anyway. I'll put a link to him. Black Bean he's called. It's well worth checking out if you want to get inspired by your oil pastels. Anyway, what I keep distracting myself. My head is all over but what is it? What is going on? So yeah, what I love the most about his work is that he just uses whatever colour he fancies. So as long as it's the right tonal value, it doesn't matter what colour it is. So on his faces, that's what inspired my was the way he works. So these are all colours you wouldn't normally, obviously you wouldn't normally see on someone's face, but they're the right tonal values. And I was a bit cramped by the few, you know, the limited colour palette that I had. Of course, it's not anymore. So yeah, this is the beautiful set that I've got. Yeah, I mean, I've got all the colours of the rainbow. Got some whites and greys and blacks. There's a clear one there. I'd already got a clear one. I didn't find that too helpful, but I'll have another go with it. And all of these metallics here as well. I know. I'm so lucky. So I think the first thing I'm going to do in a minute is this is the kind of sleeve thing that came wrapped around the box. Beautiful box they came in, and it's really quite nice paper. The camera's going to really show it, but it's got a little bit of texture to it. It's quite heavyweight. So I'm going to use this to do a swatch on. Then what I'm going to do, because sometimes I have a problem with different colours, you know, I mean, it's probably fairly obvious that yellow is going to be a lighter tonal value than deep red, but I'm not sure with that lighter blue and the yellow, are they about the same tonal value? I find it difficult, and I need more practice at being able to see that just quickly, you know. So one thing I found helpful in the past is to do the colour swatch, take a photo of it, make that photo black and white, and then instantly you can see. So I did it once where I'd put things into what I thought was tonal value order, and one just leapt out as being way darker than its neighbours. So then you think, oh right, okay, yeah, I got that one wrong. So I find that quite useful. I'll show you that in a minute. That's the first thing I'm going to do. I have been looking for some photo references. I thought it will help to have a photo reference even if I'm not going for a likeness. And it's quite hard to find interesting faces, but I've gone online. I'm going to show you what I've been looking at. So I tried typing in middle-aged woman face, and that's pretty good, but a lot of them are kind of beauty shots, and I certainly didn't want a young perfect face, because I just find that quite, no offence to young beautiful perfect people, but quite boring to draw. But I don't want kind of a beauty shot either, really. I like the more interesting lighting. One that I found was, I've lost it now, this one. So I'm going to do that one first, and it's partly, I mean, obviously she's got a lovely face. It might not be young anymore, but it's still very beautiful. But she's got some interesting shapes and things in her face. The lighting, I love the lighting. I love the shape of her eyes and very defined eyelids and things. So I think that'll all be really nice to draw. So I'm going to go with that, and I've printed it out. It hasn't printed out very well, but it give me some idea. Like I say, I'm not going for likeness. I'm going for just using that as a reference. And then one of the faces was this lady, and there's all sorts of this lady that I thought, well, she looks really interesting, but rather than have her just smiling at the camera, I quite like the one where she's putting faces. So then I went on the angry face there, and I've printed that one out as well. But then there's a whole lot of others there if you follow the link to angry woman face. So this one is from iStock Photos, and the other one was from Deposit Photos. And a lot of these, there's all sorts of these photo sites. A lot of them, you know, you can use the images free as long as you credit the person and everything. But sometimes if I'm just using them as a reference, I'll just put them up on the screen like this and have a quick look at them, and, you know. Okay, so I just realised I was waffling away and I'd left you on the screen with a lady's face on it. So what was I waffling about? What I was saying was, look, we've got this ready-made Sasquatch swatch chart that comes in there with the pastels, but for a start you can't really be sure that the printed colours are true. But look at that range of greens. And for another thing, I just think doing that swatching kind of gets you familiar with the feel of it and everything. I've cut that piece of card that was wrapped around the box. I've cut out the two big flat pieces. I think I'm probably going to need them both. It's such lovely. I don't know if they actually use the paper, you know, a proper kind of heavyweight oil pastel paper or something for this, but it's really just lovely, and it would be a shame to waste it. I'm going to have to lean this against the camera so it's going to wobble. Oh dear. Okay. Even if I can just share parts of this with you. Again, I'm not sure if you'll already have heard me say, but I'm not going to allow myself to be pernickety about this. I'm going to not use a pencil or anything to do the sketch. I'm just going to go straight in there with one of these oil pastels to do my sketch and go from there and just like jump in, because I need to crack this kind of, not exactly art block, it's just I don't know if it's just that I'm a bit tired, or just also my head is so buzzing with ideas that I can't settle on one. So sometimes you just need to jump straight into something, anything creative, and it just like gets you out of that thing. Oh, this range of colours. So this one, the 76 Violet Alizarin Lake. I love the names. Feels so dreamy. The second they go on, they just feel so dreamy. Okay, now this will probably take ages, so I'm not going to waffle on. I'm just going to put this on fast forward and probably have to skip some bits as well, and I'll come back and see you when I've finished swatching everything. I'm sure you don't want to sit through me waffling while I do that. Oh, is this bliss? You see, I feel better already because I'm just sitting and I've just started doing something. I'm also half on edge because I'm waiting for the window cleaner to come, and I'll have to go and give him his money and things. So oh, these are just, I've already got them all over my hands, but I'm loving it. These are just so luscious to use. I can't tell you how much I'm enjoying just doing this. What beautiful colours. So lovely to use. Some of them are more sort of transparent and some are more opaque than others. Like that one's extremely opaque. This one's quite transparent. I'm going to bring you just a little closer without hitting the top of the box. Okay, this has taken quite a while already. I think I'm going to stop filming this now, and I don't want to put you to sleep. Right, they're all done now. I managed to fit them all on the one piece actually, so I'll save this for something else because it's too nice to waste. Got messy hands because you can't resist getting your fingers in, and love the metallic ones. They're really lush. Not something I don't think ever have thought of buying, but now I've got them, I'll have to see what I can do with them. Obviously the white doesn't show there, or the transparent. So what I did then was I took a picture just with my phone. The lighting isn't great, but it still does the job, and then took all the colour out, so you can see what I mean now. It makes it really, really clear which colours are light, medium and dark tone. You know, if I want a really light tone, any of these yellows along here a bit, well, that's pretty obvious, but I wouldn't necessarily have thought of these two as being a light tone, but obviously they very much stand out there as being lighter than these others. I think I'm going to make space here and have I think normally I'd probably just pick out a palette of colours to use, because obviously I haven't got much space to have all of this out in front of me, and then try and make space on here for the big sketchbook. And as I say, I don't think I'm going to be able to show an awful lot of the process because I just think it's too big. My very first project with this set, why not make it something really huge and daunting? The trouble is, it's because like I just, I do feel so lucky to get this set, and I feel like, I have to do something, I have to do beautiful things with it, and it just makes me feel like a bit, I'm going to let myself down. I got this lovely set and I might still make rubbish with it. So I'm not, this is why I need to jump in. I need to knock that out of myself. I think what I'm going to do is just record little bits like this. I'll record the start of this, and then I'll just have to work away by myself for a bit, and then come back and show you at stages through the thing. It's just going to be daft trying to do this. I'm leaning right over to get to this. Now I haven't got the top of her head in this photo, so let's leave a bit of space for that. Okay, come on, just go. can go over it anyway, so it's not like it's the end of the world. Right. You can sort of see, hang on, put it sideways. You can sort of see my initial sketch going down there. That's all I'm going to do. I'm quite pleased with myself. I haven't allowed myself to use a pencil and get all fussy. So I think the next thing is I'm going to start looking for the lightest tones first, I think. Because although you can layer these over the top of each other, I just feel like if I want some areas to stay light, I need to sort of get them down now. I think I might learn better. The light seems to be coming kind of from sort of in front and to this side, so I need to bear that in mind. That's why it's nice to have the photo reference, even if you're not going for an actual portrait. It's just nice to see where the light falls and things like that. I'm not going to take any, I'm just going to grab colours that appeal to me at the time, call to me in the moment, as long as they're the right tonal value. So I'm looking for something light. Although, I mean, it's great that we've got, look at the mass of like traditional kind of skin tones that we've got there. We can do all the skin colours I want to do. But whenever you look at someone's face, you've also got, you know, purples and greens and blues and reds and yellows, you know. Those are showing up as light on my colour chart, but the lightest of all of these yellows, so I'm going to go for one of them. Because I don't actually know how well this paper's going to do with these. It might be too smooth or something, I don't know. But it's all I've got that's big enough at the moment, so I'm sure I saw somewhere that you shouldn't scribble on with these or something. You should, like, you know, but I'm trying to get, at the moment I'm just trying to get a base coat down really, so I'm scribbling. Another thing I want to try, that was my son that pointed this out, he saw something about it online, is you can use linseed oil to kind of thin them out and blend them into each other, which I thought would be quite a fun thing to try. If you're watching this, please do not expect it to be an expert tutorial. I'm a long way off that. Right, so I'm going to have to get my head over this now, so I'm going to keep working on this, and at the moment, rightly or wrongly, my aim is to get just a base coat down of whatever colours I fancy, but trying to get the tonal values more or less there, and then I can start working on the details. So I'm going to work on that by myself for a minute and then come back and show you how that's going. Okay, so just to give you a look at progress so far, looking a bit hopeless and scary at the moment, but I'm going to keep going and keep layering, and I think the first stage is going to be to kind of blend all of this together, probably just using my fingers. I didn't get on very well. I love blending stamps for other things, but I didn't get on very well with them for this, so I'm going to go back to using my fingers. When I come to doing the final details, I might have a go with that, with using linseed oil on brush to get blended, but we'll see. I might, you know, might change my mind about that when we get there, I don't know. So yeah, I'm now going to start blending it all together, and then I'll come back when I'm on to stage 3 I guess. Yeah, I'm not going to let myself be daunted. Okay, so another quick update. One thing I've realised looking at it is that probably because of the awkward angle I'm doing this at to try and film it, she's ended up with a very big forehead and a very small chin. But I'm going to go with that, and it will probably just come out interesting, I don't know, we'll see. now I've got kind of a base layer of colours down. So now I'm going to use some slightly more towards a realistic end. So sort of orangey browns and kind of peachy tones and more of the white and yellow. I've got some of these kind of rusty red colours. So I'm going to use some of those as well now. Over the top, so it'll be easier to start blending now that I've got something to blend onto, because it's like it always feels a bit dry, and even though these are lovely and soft and kind of creamy to go on, you still need to sort of build up a bit before you can start. At the moment, yeah, but you just got to keep going. You just got to keep going. I think it's going to be really hard to do this and keep filming it. I think I'm probably going to have to get engrossed and just come back and show you how it turned out. And when I'm a little bit more confident, maybe I'll sort of show my process a bit more. So I'm going to crack on with this now and come back and show you a bit of a later stage, hopefully a more improved version. Okay, just another catch up at this stage. I've started like deepening the dark areas and lightening the light areas. I'm struggling not to get despondent at the moment, but you know, I think one of the hardest things is just not being able to. I can't find a position where I can really see it all at a good angle. I think maybe I need to have it on an easel. I think I'm just going to leave it now and come back and show you it when it's done, because. I'm too embarrassed to show you it now, to show you any more now. Okay, so it is now gone 10 o'clock at night. I'm filthy. My room is an absolute mess. I've got stuff everywhere. I started again, so this is as far as I got with that other one. Hated it. I'm not going to throw it away yet, but I just decided not to waste any more pastels or time on it at the moment. Not that it's ever a waste. I think the only way I would truly waste these beautiful pastels is if I didn't use them at all. So then I started again, and what I decided was it's going to be really hard to show you because I just haven't got enough space there. I don't know how well you can see that, but what I did was go an awful lot closer up on the face, and it just feels like the bigger I go, the better I like it. And I've just got to the point of just starting on the mouth and thinking I would just do a little bit in front of the camera now. I've got the hang of it a little bit, but I can't get it on here. I think what I'm going to do is carry on and finish this one by myself now, and then I'm going to come back in a couple of days and just do something. I think it needs to be smaller so I can get it on the desk. It's not gonna work to do something this big scale, and I should have realised that. But suffice to say, I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and I have learned. What have I learned about these so far? Working big is better. This paper's fine actually. Definitely worked to kind of put that base layer of the colour down first, and then go back in with more colour again afterwards. And then when you do that, you kind of need to dab it on. You can't scribble with it then, because it just scribbles itself off again, so you need to like dab then. And I think once I get to these upper layers, I prefer it like not over blended like there. I don't want it all smudged with my finger and blended in. I want some, yeah, I'm starting to get the hang of using the colours and learning which ones are lighter and darker tonal values. And I do love that idea of using unexpected colours in the face like that. That makes me smile just to see those colours there like that. Oh no, a bit of colour me. Yeah, so yeah, it's going to be a bit of a weird video because I'm not really showing you anything. I'm certainly not expert enough to give anybody a tutorial on it. But normally I'd have done like a proper speeded through finished piece. But I think I'm going to have to stop now for today. So I'm going to see if I can quickly put together what I've got here. Come back and show you perhaps a smaller project in a few days, if that's making any kind of sense at all. I've been having a lovely time. I've been watching that new episode of The Crown, so I'm just waffling now. Okay. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you again really soon. Bye.